2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
And a glimpse inside the locker room. Players' final few moments to prepare for the game and the task ahead. Soaring high above the Willamette River towards our location tonight in downtown Portland. The NBA on 2K Sports welcomes you to Wednesday afternoon basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. DA, it's all yours.
Well, Damian Lillard is not just the best player on the Blazers, he's the team's unquestioned leader. But he said leadership is not all about talking. It's about letting others hold you accountable too. Being coachable and committing to a common purpose. For him, guys, being a leader doesn't mean he puts himself above his teammates.
I like that story, David, and a good attitude. Great job. Thank you so much. Our key matchup tonight, Brent. Everyone's been looking forward to this one. This is a statement game for both teams.
Part of this game tonight, Kevin, will be interesting. We know the stars will be stars in the game tonight. This is a great indicator for the coaching staff about maybe this is a guy we can rely on as the season goes on. Maybe come playoff time, this is the type of player who we know in bigger moments is ready to accept the challenge.
It's a good look inside the game. I like it. Now let's take a look at Denver's opening lineup. We've got garbage man. Miller is out there with Murray. Then it's Porter. And it's Jokic in at the 5 down low. And for Portland, Damian Lillard out there with Jay. Then it's Pippen. Then there's Jay. And it's Joseph in at the power forward position. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
That's going to draw a whistle every time down the floor. Not even close to being a legal screen.
Yeah, everybody saw that one. That was pretty blatant there.
And the call up against Jokic. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And he's drawing those whistles. A couple quick ones back to back.
Grant, he's checked in for Denver. Off the inbound, and Grant sends it back.
Grant's got some verts. I mean, it's all out there, especially effective on getting to the shooters and making an impact.
Back to Miller. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Are you asking me, GA? I'm not sure.
And it's Pippen with the jam.
Well, everyone knows Lillard is one of the league's best scorers off the pick and roll, so he chooses this time to make the assist.
And the 4-year, $196 million Supermax extension signed by Damian Lillard this offseason. Dame Dollar living up to one of his many nicknames, but money well spent by the Blazers.
And it's the Trail Blazers with the ball, following the three-point attempt by Jamal Murray. Now here's Pippen, pocket 6. Here's Lillard, and he can't bank that one in. On the wing, Porter. Miller kicks to Murray. And stolen by Lillard. Here's the break, and he's going up to the alley-oop.
And running with a full head of steam, but completely under control.
Yeah, you think he's comfortable at that speed? He's done it so many times before. Just an absolute blur in transition, and that helps get the rhythm going.
Passes it to Murray. And it's sent back by Lillard. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. So Portland ends up going with the new group. The Nuggets also changing it up. Rain Man's checked in for Porter. Gary Harris comes in for Miller. And it's Jackson in for Murray. There's a minute 47 left to play in the first quarter. Smooth passes to B. Fires from 14. Buries the jump shot.
Well, Coach Mike Malone has grown up with this young Nuggets team. He says that he believes in the youth of this team.
Well, the future is so bright for the Denver Nuggets, and really where you have to give Mike Malone a ton of credit is when they made the decision between their two bigs, Jokic and Nurkic, sticking with Jokic and then changing their entire offensive style to play from a point center position. It has paid huge dividends.
Here's McCollum. And the rejection by Jackson. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson for the Nuggets. Paul Millsap is checked in for garbage man. And it's Bull in for Grant. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. McCollum outside. Three-pointer. Again, McCollum missing.
Having a hand up in your face makes such a difference to a shooter.
Yeah, as good as you can do without getting a block there to defend.
Now, here's Bull. For three, Harris. And he's good on the three ball.
The confidence that Gary Harris is playing with right now, he is ready to shoot once that ball touches his mitts.
Smooth passes to Carmelo. This quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Knocked loose. 6 to shoot. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Stay in front of Carmelo Anthony when he's driving hard like that. The defense is finding itself in a very tough spot. That's how he got that call.
It's his first trip to the line.
You know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw.
Well, Melo undoubtedly still the leader of this team in terms of when they need to calm it down and they need some offense. He's the guy they're going to look to score it.
He hits the second from the line. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Jackson deciding where to go with it. We've got 13 seconds left in the first quarter. And he misses his first shot of the game.
He wanted to keep that shot from getting blocked, but in the process, he gave it no chance of going in because of how unbalanced he was on the fade.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Trailblazers lead by 3. From Portland, we're back in a moment. Great team play, so key to winning. Damian Lillard broke down the key.
Be a star in your role. You know, I think it's one thing to say, let's be consistent, let's play hard, let's do all of these things. And I think as competitors, as professional athletes, we're going to play hard. You're going to be competitive because we're competitors. We don't make it to this level for no reason. But I think at this level, you also have egos.
Knowing your role and playing it so well is so crucial.
Yeah, when everybody buys in and plays for one another, that's when teams play their best ball.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And looking at what we've seen so far from the Trailblazers guys, what do you think?
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
It felt like they knew that there were openings in transition and just wanted to keep trying to feed that, get out quick.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court right now for the Trailblazers. Slim is out there with Anthony. Then there's Bean. Then there's McCollum. And it's Charles in at the point. Certain players make everyone around them better. Talk about some of those guys who will do that at the very highest level.
The interesting thing about today's game, Kevin, is it's not always the point guard position. I think in the past we thought two ways. The point guard, who has the ball in his hands, finding guys for them to make shots. And then through the 80s and 90s, it was low post players who were getting double teams and initiating some offense. Yes. Nowadays, it's a lot of wing guys. And it's guys like Kawhi Leonard, it's guys like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, throw Draymond Green in there with his ability to pass the ball. Jokic in there with his ability to pass the ball. It's all happening around the three-point line and getting into the gap. So they look a little bit different, the initiators, in today's game.
Back to Miller. And the pass to Jokic. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Greg, the rapid ascension of Nikola Jokic into NBA stardom has been nothing short of amazing. You know, he really is an elite center now.
I mean, he's the best player on a very talented young team in the West. I would not be surprised to see him win an MVP in the next few years.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. You know, Brent, passing is just one of the many things that Jokic does well on the floor.
Well, it doesn't look pretty at times, and there's not a ton of athleticism, but the cerebral play of Jokic, and then for teams to try to prepare Kevin defensively for a team offensively that plays from a point center, that's a bit of a mind job night in and night out. Denver's done such a great job of accentuating the skill set of Nikola Jokic.
To the weight. Here's Nurkic. Second chance shot, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Nurkic with the pump fake does a good job fooling the defender that time. You wonder with Nurkic last year getting hurt just how much further the Blazers could have gone. Again, carried by C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard. Their unbelievable dynamic duo at the guard position. But the defensive anchor all year long had been Nurkic.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. And with their high-powered backcourt, Brent, Nurkic providing the Blazers with that sorely needed paint presence. He is a big body.
Big body who sets screens and frees up a bunch of room for those guards that you mentioned, Kevin. But the interesting thing is about all the dirty work that Nurkic can do down low for this basketball team, picking up 10, 12 points in the painted area and putting a lot of pressure on the defense. You go back to 2015, the Blazers lost 4 of their 5 starters in the offseason. So instead of rebuilding, they retooled around Damian Lillard, and what a piece to retool behind. Amazing how far they've come in the past couple seasons, where they've placed in the Western Conference.
Oh, trying for it. Out of bounds. Denver takes possession. Jamal Murray, he's checked in for Dimes. And Denver has possession. They trail by 1. Well, you know, Brent, you've got to give a lot of credit to the Blazers front office, continuing to fortify this roster with under-the-radar acquisitions.
Interesting adjusting around a couple of albatross contracts to now have a team that's capable at positions that a lot of teams are trying to fill. That's the wing position.
Now, Jokic, shot clock at 5.
And Jokic, even though we look at his body and you don't think he plays physically, he can do that.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots in the game right here. No good on that.
It didn't take too long for Jokic to blossom into one of the better young players in the league. Much quicker than most folks, I think, give him credit for.
Harris is checked in for Denver. Good on the second free throw.
Well, one thing that Nuggets fans can rest easy on is this team has its core in place.
No doubt about that. There's a lot to like about the future of the Denver Nuggets with Jokic at that center position and the huge extension signed this offseason by Jamal Murray. That's a fantastic duo between your 5 and your point guard to build on.
Murray outside. Lets it go from 11. Out of hand on it. 3 on 3. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. And it's sent back by Jokic.
Deceptive reach from Jokic there, swatting that shot away using those long arms.
Lillard, right side. Shoots the 3. Nailed from three-point land. Lillard's got his first 3 points of the game.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Murray outside. And it's blocked. It's going to be out of bounds. The Nuggets will retain possession. Garbage man is checked in for the Nuggets. Garbage man. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. 5 on the clock. Deep 2 from Murray. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
And with him missing literally everything he's put up today, you can see why the score is what it is.
Here's Lillard. Fires from deep. Here's Joseph. And that's it for the first half of action in what's been a very close game here. It's the Trailblazers up by 5. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Hey, Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Terry Stotts. Coach, they've been shooting poorly. Is that good defense or bad offense?
Probably a little bit of both. You know, I think we're competing defensively, and they've missed some opportunities.
It's led to good results for you, though. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. The first quarter for the Trailblazers was fairly even. They were on a nice little roll in that opening period as they got their lead up as high as 7 points. Checking out the Trailblazers. Kenny, some perspective, please.
Really great rebounding effort, Ernie, so far. They're putting up some nice numbers in that category. That's the big difference in the first half.
And you, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Nuggets.
You know, they haven't shot the ball very well. Not nearly enough quality looks. Right now, this game could easily come down to shots and how they run their offense. They need to keep the ball moving and generate better looks.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take it down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. You know, Brett, we know guys love really jawing at each other. What was your criteria for issuing a double technical for trash talk?
Yeah, in today's game, it's kind of like it could be a whisper or a wink, you know, the way that they look
both
at it.
sides.
And they just try to curtail anything that could escalate, Kevin. That's really what the referees are doing. As soon as they see some kind of body movement or see guys starting that way, they want to cut it off before anything else happens. So the criteria is a little bit confusing. Sometimes I like to see them get after it.
So on the floor for Denver, they've got Nikola Jokic. Garbage man out there at Porter. Then there's Jamal Murray. And it's Miller in at the shooting guard. Porter against Pippen. It's tipped. Out to the right wing. Wide open look here for Murray. And again, it's Denver.
The good old catch-and-shoot jumper there. Murray quickly getting these shots up and over the defense.
Pippen, the pass to Lillard. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Back to Pippen. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Jimmy, and it's sent back by Jokic. Murray outside. Porter in the corner for the tie. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Here's Mitchell, and it's Mitchell with the jam.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. And Denver decides to take their first time out here.
And as things present themselves throughout a game, teams have to adapt on the fly.
And timeouts are a wonderful opportunity to just settle in and recollect the thoughts of your entire team. Not just the guys playing, but the entire team, Greg.
He's checked in for Jokic. Lane man comes in for Porter. Jackson, he's checked in for Miller. And it's Dimes in for Murray. Always going up for the alley-oop here. Denver passing it around. Ball the pass to Raymond. Ball kicks to Jackson. Here's Garbage Man. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That one's on Anthony. The Nuggets shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And they were 75% from the line a season ago.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good.
Well, Portland being up there in the PNW, that's the Pacific Northwest, always means a lot of air miles. Matter of fact, they lead the league pretty much every year in distance travel.
And he makes both free throws. Right, you talk about all that travel for the Blazers. That can wear you down.
Well, interesting. The Blazers have done some particular things off the floor for their players, bringing in UV lights into the locker rooms, coffee before the game. It's very much hipster Pacific Northwest.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Now, here's Bull. He's tightly guarded. That one misses. Ball stolen. Passes to Raymond. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
Good shot. Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
A great season for the Nuggets last year, winning the Northwest Division. Kind of a tough way to go out in the postseason for them as they lost to the Portland Trail Blazers. But overall, a terrific direction and lots of room to grow that has them excited about the Denver Nuggets competing at an elite level this season.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And that one falls for Bull. You know, Brent, for what the Nuggets did last season, they show they're going to be a factor for years to come.
They had big wins over a lot of key opponents last year. I mean, really stepping up to the level of their competition. And they demonstrated that they're one of the best teams in the Western Conference, but there is room to grow. Hopefully that motivation is something that gets them to the next level.
High post shot. And the basket by McCollum. McCollum's got his second basket of the game.
And this is part of the patience of C.J. McCollum. In-air adjustments with the defender on him. You have to like that body control.
Here's Millsap. Bank shot. No good. And it's Anthony with the ball for Portland. 4-point game. McCollum against Jackson. McCollum feeling it out a bit. Shot clock at 6. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. And the rejection by Jackson. To the inside. Taken away by Anthony. Jackson against McCollum. And Anthony with the basket on the assist by McCollum. And the Trailblazers lead by 6. Here's Terrell. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. The third quarter comes to a close. Trailblazers lead by 6. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
The passing for the team becoming contagious, this time involving the big.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the fourth quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. Smooth out there with Damian Lillard. Then there's the waiter. Then there's Slim. And it's Joseph in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers. Here's Jokic. Off the left rim and out. Trailblazers leading by 6. To the wing on the left. There's the lob to the hoop. And the dunk by Joseph.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger. A ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Miller with the ball. Outside Jackson. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And the Blazers GM called Portland a cocoon market. Not a lot of exposure, but these fans sure love their team.
And maybe you have to look at the front office and credit them for understanding the personalities of the guys that they rely on here in McCollum and Lillard. Not really going out to seek the limelight, wanting to concern themselves with getting better as basketball players, and then wanting to make an impact in the community. It's come together nicely for them in Portland.
And that one falls for Jackson.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
So for the Trailblazers, Mitchell, he's checked in for the waiter. Pippen comes in for Slim, and Jay's subbed in for Smooth. Michael Porter, he's checked in for the Nuggets. And so Jackson nails both of them.
One area after watching Denver over the course of the past 2 years showing what they can do offensively is for them to improve on the defensive end of the floor. About middle of the pack last year, they can get into that top 5. They become very formidable as a finals team.
Here's Porter. Portland grabs the miss.
How about the timing he shows there to challenge that shot?
Yeah, not easy to do there, and that's a guy that you can tell takes every possession defensively very seriously.
And for the Nuggets, I think they concede, Brent, that defense is a work in progress.
Well, that's why they jumped though last year, Kevin. 2 years ago, they were at the very bottom of the league, and last year showed some signs of getting some cohesion on that end of the floor. If they get into that top 5, Kevin, this team could be on their way to the NBA Finals.
At the line for 2.
First one falls for him. Garbage man, he's checked in for Denver. Jamal Murray comes in for Jackson. And Mitchell drops them both.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Shot from 12. Shots good by Miller.
A little mid-ranger is going to be an easy shot for him when he's got that much of a size advantage.
Pass to Lillard. Over Murray. And it's Lillard missing.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Porter with the steal. Good work defensively by Pippen. Trailblazers leading by 6. Kicks it out to Mitchell. Lillard the pass to Jay. Back to Lillard. It's up at 3. Rebound by Murray.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Right wing. Here's Jokic. It's deflected. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Here's the break. Miller with a wide open look. And again, Denver no good.
He's going to be shaking his head on that one. He missed an easy.
Yeah, you can't make them all, and you for sure you want him taking that kind of shot.
Lillard against Jokic. Lillard misses.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
The Nuggets with another miss. And so here's Portland. Here in the fourth, they've allowed just 4 points from downtown. Second shot opportunity, and it's laid up and in by Joseph.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, looking for a miracle worker out there is the opposing coaching staff. I don't know that they have one. This game seems to be well in hand.
Denver calls timeout. They're trailing by 8. 34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, they got to get straight to the hoop, then a foul immediately.
Seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Murray, and it's sent back by Mitchell. Joseph finds Lillard. Portland moving the ball. And it's Pippen missing. And so it's Jokic with it. He brings it up for Denver. Trailing here by 8.
That's a tough rebound if you don't have the length that he does, so the size paying off.
Now here's Pippen. And so it's Portland winning this one. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Brett Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.